beautiful Prospect Park, home of the Redlands Theater Festival. We're here today to take you on a journey through the evolution of the Repertory Theater Company of Redlands. The struggle began here 11 years ago, when the thoughts of producing a festival seemed a dream, or even to some an absurdity. The struggle has been long and hard, and expensive to produce. But with the resolute ambitions of Mr. Cliff Cabanella, it has become a respected and consummate company.
Come to a company that was a mud hole.
The excitement of it. It was such a wonderful opportunity to see primarily young people, but there were some my age too, build something right from scratch. And that was exciting. The fact that the results were very good right at the beginning helped to keep me interested over the years. And I've watched it grow and just felt proud that I could have been a little part of it.
Do you think that Cliff was the factor in its growth, or just a large factor?
He was the factor. This wouldn't be here if it hadn't been for Cliff. Many people helped him. He got good support from people who were friends of Prospect Park, some people who were in theater, both at Valley College and in this area generally. But he did it. If he hadn't had the tremendous drive that he has, it wouldn't have happened.
Well, I'm
No
certainly
question.
glad it did.
I am too.
Okay, Bud, this is the juicy question. What was your favorite role of all time here at the festival?
Well, I think my favorite one here at this festival was probably The Miser. That was a lot of fun, and a very big role, a lot of good comedy, and I loved it. I also was quite proud and pleased with what we did with the last meeting of the Knights of the White Magnolia last year.
Yes, you were brilliant in that.
And we had a number over the years. But one of the things about a festival is it's not a star
Yes.
system. Everyone gets a chance to play big roles and smaller roles, and I've done both. I've had roles where I've just walked on perhaps for 2 minutes, and that's my contribution for that show, but it's all fun.
Are you very excited about your upcoming role as King Lear in this festival?
Very much so. A little nervous too, because there's so many lines to learn. I did that role 14 years ago. That was one of the ones we did at the Inland Empire Festival.
Ah.
But I feel that perhaps I know more today than I did then, and it should be a better experience for me. And also, it's a little more frightening because I know more.
You're closer to Lear himself.
Right, absolutely.
Okay, now this is the question personally that I wanted to ask. What was the funniest moment here at the festival?
Oh, I think that there have been many funny moments in the festival. I'm trying to think of one here. I think we've had cats and kittens run across stage. We've even had a large rabbit go across the stage.
During the performance?
During The Imaginary Invalid, the first time it was done here, a huge moth, it must have been 6 or 7 inches in wingspread, landed on the piano while the young man was pretending to play the piano, and he became fascinated with it, and so did everyone on the stage, and I think everyone in the audience. It seemed as though everyone stopped breathing for a minute while this great, huge moth that looked like a bat just poised there on the piano, and then it flew away. And
did it get applause?
I think so, as a matter of fact. We also have had our share of airplanes coming over. The first year, doing Comedy of Errors, 2 young, very talented young men named Peter Hath and Michael Dixon were playing the lead roles. They were on the stage, just the 2 of them. A plane went over quite low and very noisily, and right in the middle of their dialogue, they snapped to attention, saluted, and when the plane had gone by, they snapped out of attention, went right back into their parts, and went on as if nothing had happened. They got applause for that one, too.
I'd give them applause.
Yes. There have been a lot of great things, a lot of disasters. We haven't had many disasters. I think the only disaster that I remember was the year that Cliff decided to do a kabuki theater, which, as you know, is Japanese, very stylized theater. He had planned to do 2 kabuki one-acts, which lasted about 35 or 40 minutes each. And he had arranged for a very talented Japanese martial arts team to present a program between the 2 kabukis. First, one of the kabukis didn't get prepared. People involved with getting it ready just didn't do the job. The other one was brilliant. It was very good. But the Japanese martial arts group canceled out at the very last moment. Cliff tried to find a group. He found one that did something like what you'd see at an old English fair, doing tumbling and so forth, and they weren't very good. I think that was the one show that Cliff decided not to charge the customers to see it. But we got through that, and that was one of the rocky moments.
Well, Bud, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.
Well, I'm very glad to have been here, and I want to see this festival go on for another 50 years or more.
1973 was to be the year of great changes. Cliff found a place that quenched his dreams. That same year, Cliff was transferred to a new community college opening up in Yucaipa, California. In the summer of 1973, the ground was cleared, seed was planted, and through the nurturing of the students and friends, grew this Redlands-based repertory theater company. The first 4 seasons included Taming of the Shrew, Imaginary Invalid, Lucy the Forsaken, and The Apple Tree. The company was compiled of 32 people, drawing from the Inland Empire and Crafton Hills College student body. Dressing rooms were constructed of dangling blankets, and extension cords were run from the caretaker's home to provide the necessary lighting. Much of this was simple but effective for the park. There was no established seating, so the ground was dampened, and the audience brought lawn chairs to sit in the terraced, semicircular house. The entire festival was produced by a staff of only 5. They worked hard to establish a good quality show. For publicity reasons, the 5 staff members got together and paraded through Redlands promoting their shows. Determined to reach their goals for making a substantial theater, they went to the San Bernardino City Hall to speak of funding with the mayor. Gradually, through the next year, roots began to take hold, and the festival was inspired to move more abruptly in the direction of its long-range plans. After the success of the 1973 season, future plans were being discussed for the festival. The summer of 1976 held many expectations for the construction of a permanent theater. Therefore, the festival was moved to downtown Redlands on State Street. Construction did not go according to schedule, however, because of minimal funding, so building would have to wait. The 1978 season brought great distress due to the impending Proposition 13. That season, the festival was left to totally supporting itself. Through the help of the Friends, in the next 2 years, funds were allocated and the construction of the Elizabethan-type stage was started in 1980. This is the $250,000 structure you see today. A year later, 407 seats were installed by a grant through Mervyn's department store. Many were also purchased by patrons of the festival. Once again, this is Kelly Allen, and I'm glad we've had this time to share with you a place that is very special to us. The visions of this theater were part of a man's original dream, and the reputation of the Redlands Theater Festival has been established. The rest is tomorrow.